Hey, so I like the Donkey Kong Country series. It's actually a huge part of my childhood, and replaying it on the Wii a few years ago, I came to the realization that I love this game more than I thought. And since the game got a re-release on the Switch with Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, I thought I'd make this video. One of my favorite aspects will always be the bosses. Also, I'm not sure where to put this, but it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed. I'm hoping to reach 200 subscribers eventually. Also, I'm fully aware this isn't my normal style of content, but I need to make this video because I love this game and it needs the credit it deserves. Country Returns has 8 bosses in total, and honestly, all of them are super well put together and fun. But that doesn't mean I have a least favorite. World 5 is a very good world, honestly one of my favorites, but the boss is mediocre at best. Allow me to introduce you to Mango Ruby. I do have some positives. It is a very unique boss, and I love how the level's actually built, but this also leads to its major flaw. Hitting a boss, especially with the final hit, it's super annoying because of the borderline random movement, and it just drags out because you will constantly jump for it and just not hit it. So, I think this is very fitting for last place. Well, here's a huge step up in quality. You might have expected this, but the first boss is in the lower end of the tier list. Not that it's bad, it's super fun, and I love how there's an indicator for when you can and can't hit him, and his attacks are very sight readable. But Mugly is a complete cakewalk when you learn the fast strat, and that's the issue I have with it. It's just too easy. Super well designed, but you could beat this boss in under a minute if you just wait for his jump attack. So, it's a good boss, but too easy. Obviously, it should be, because it is the first in the game. Okay, this is a very short entry, but the crabs are pretty fun. I like how you have to fight them all, and then they tower up. It's super creative and a fun boss in my opinion. But it's way too easy to win when you know all the strategies. The boss does require some trial and error, but when you get the hang of it, you just get it. Other than that, it's really good. Oh, Thugly. How great of a boss you are. Yes, this is when we get into the great territory. Everything above this will be great, and also is kind of interchangeable except for the top two. Thugly is a more beefed up version of Mugly, which fixed my biggest issue with Mugly itself, that being how simple he was. There's also many improvements here, from his beefed up jump attack, his fire breath, and everything. It's also a super fun detail that Thugly destroys the stage the more you go down, adding more chaos to an already chaotic boss. So yeah, this boss is fun, hard, and this is why it's number 5 on the list. You know it's a good boss when the gimmick is really fun. Yeah, Stu is fun, and if I'm being honest, I flip-flop between him and Thugly, but I think Stu beats him out because of Stu's super unique gimmick. You are dropped into this area with 3 sets of towers, and then Stu drops bombs that you can throw back at him. This gimmick is so fun because of how the bombs work. They are thrown really fast and go decently far and high. And if you are good enough, you can launch one at a wall and it will bounce off and hit Stu. There's so much risk and reward with bombs that I can't help but be pumped throughout the fight, especially when I hit him. So, I think this is a very fitting spot for number 4. It's just sad that, other bosses are way better. Yeah, of course the final boss makes it this high. I mean, you should have expected Tiki Dong to be top 3, because we all like Tiki Dong, right? Right? I really like how the boss begins with a rocket barrel section. It's super unique and fun, and I'm like the only rocket barrel glazer, so them using the top-down rocket barrel section to start off the boss is just so cool. Really, my compliments border to it's difficult but fair. When you get his attacks down, it feels very rewarding. Especially his second phase. I love how the second phase works in almost every way. My only issue is when you lose, you have to redo the barrel segment, which does get really tiring after some time. Okay, but if you're playing this on the HD remake, they actually did change this, so you will always spawn at the boss. This is specifically for the Wii version, and this is what I was referring to when I say that you have to redo the barrel section every single time you die. Overall, there's a lot to like about this boss, so I can safely say it's one of the best in the game. It's the Mole Train, baby! Dude, this boss is amazing and really smart. The Mole Train can be seen as a real pace breaker and really slow, but there's a fun little trick that makes it go faster and doesn't make it completely easy. You see, when you roll off the minecart, you can actually make it to the main train, then the boss really begins. You have to jump on the moles as they come out of the minecarts, which is really simple. The part that makes it really difficult is that the cave progressively gets darker and darker the further you are in the boss. You can only see the moles because they have these headlights, which makes it possible to see them. It's unironically such a fun detail to incorporate into the boss, and I really love it. Max is pretty much the same, but he can throw pickaxes at you, which ups the difficulty. It's unironically such a fun detail to incorporate into the boss, and I love it. Finally, when you beat the boss, it crashes in the front of the train, and the train nearly falls off a cliff. Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so good. I love that. This boss is just way too much fun to play, and it feels rewarding to beat. It's just straight up amazing. But it isn't number 1. Yeah, you should have all seen this coming. Colonel Pluck. What can I say about Colonel Pluck? It's the hardest boss in the game in my opinion, and when you know what you're doing, it still cannot be that easy. It's super fun to blitz through when you do know some of the patterns and some of the fast strats. I love this boss so much. Its attacks are very simple, but if you're smart, you can swap sides by going under the legs. There's so many sight-readable attacks, which makes it not feel unfair in any way. And this will be the only boss that I mentioned the music for because, come on, just listen to this part of the track. It goes so hard, my god. It like actually peak music. Not only that, when you beat the Stomper bot, you get blessed with a second phase where he drops chicken bots onto the arena before crashing down. There's just so much to this boss that I love. Oh god, it's so creative, fun, difficult. It is much deserving of my #1 choice. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to make this because I love Donkey Kong Country Returns. Okay, more interesting content upcoming soon. I just need to work on it. If you're wondering, I actually plan on making a bunch of random content to see what I like to do. I mean, I liked making this video. I liked making the last Kirby challenges. I kind of just want to make a variety of content until I find my little niche. Yeah, just wanted to say that. Okay, bye.